So, guys, a London-born artist who is of Ugandan descent said the British Empire had committed rape against his own land. He is an award-winning artist. George, the poet, had revealed he turned down an MBE because of the pure evil of the British Empire. The 28-year-old named George Mpanga said that while he deeply appreciated the gesture, he did not want to accept the honor because of the colonial trauma inflicted on the children of Africa. Mpanga, who was born in London but is of Uganda heritage, added that the empire had committed rape against his homeland and that its conduct in the country was pure evil. Speaking on his BBC podcast, he said, "Your forefathers grabbed my motherland, pinned her down, and took turns. They did that every day for a couple hundred years and then left her to treat her own burns." He added that he saw his parents' faces when a friend asked if he was going to accept the honor back in May, and that he later felt a burning sensation in his chest when he reflected on his status. The acclaimed poet, who was shortlisted for the Critics' Choice category at the 2015 British Awards, said, "I see myself as a student, admirer, and friend of Britain." So guys, I'm going to quickly run through a few comment sections. Let us see how people are actually responding and reacting to all of this about him refusing to accept that award so as to educate, or to rather bring back certain very gory details that certain people believe that should not be talked about. We talk about reparations and a lot as the so-called people in Israel right now. They call themselves the real descendants of Moses, Abraham, and the rest of the stories that you might read in the Bible. While some say that they are Ashkenazi Jews, they are not the real Jews, they are impostors, they are Europeans, and all of that. Now, I'm not going to go into all the details anyway. They somehow were able to get certain reparations, and they were also able to bring out. There were laws that were also giving. They say anti-Semitic laws and all of that, where you cannot say certain things against them and all of that. And some people, historians and people, Bible scholars, went into the Bible and they said and analyzed it properly. They said these people never went through these travails and all of that. These people they were never persecuted exactly as it is written in the scriptures, and this is a prophecy. The only people that were that went through all of this trauma and genocide and whatever name you want to call it, slavery and all of that, the only people that went through this are the brown skin people that are domiciled in Africa right now. And there's a story about how they moved from that land of Israel right down to Africa. Well, that is a story for another day. So it seems every time a colored skin, brown skin person want to speak about certain injustice, which is still ongoing till date. We are talking about racism, prejudice, and the rest of that. It seems they want to shut them down like, hey, you don't have to say anything and all of that. There seems to be a helpless woman. That is what they want to make them be, that can be raped and continue to be raped. As you know right now, we have neo-colonization after slavery, colonization, and now it's neo-colonization. And if you don't believe me, check out what France, the relationship between France and some of the Francophone countries in Africa. Right now, they are pulling out of this anyway. They say enough of this, but hopefully they will not have, as they always do, they will always have certain groups of people in that same continent of Africa, in that same Francophone countries. They will still have some groups of people that have been bribed, that are criminals, and they are sellers. They sell themselves. They are saboteurs that might want to disrupt this new development. So, guys, let's quickly see comments. Like I said, let's see what people are saying as regards this this guy refusing to accept the award. Someone here say very happy. All right, I'm gonna leave that. Someone here say, I'm sorry he did not accept the honor. Not because the past should be forgotten, but because his honor represents how much has changed for the better and continues to change. Look at the comments. No one denies the past. No one celebrates that which was reprehensible. This NBA celebrates how human spirit overcame adversity. It does not celebrate the past. And of course, there are going to be a lot of people that are going to reply to that. Someone here say, The British men and women may be criticizing this guy, but to me, what he did is right. That is the best way for him to express his displeasure over British colonial rule that have devastated Africa up till now. Please, modern day living is still going on by the same British and France. They need to stop their internalization they are currently practicing in Africa. There is a man, I cannot quickly get his name right now. He was a member of the British Parliament, and I think sometimes in 18 or 13, I can't remember what year it was. Anyway, he said that the only way that they can actually bring people down is to take off their own culture, strip them of their own culture and their own belief system, and they need to attack all of that and actually sell them their own. And when they sell them their own, they make this inferior and make this superior. As you know, if you go to Africa and some of these countries in the South of America, you will find a Caucasian man nailed to the cross, and I'll tell you that ain't Jesus Christ. That ain't Jesus Christ. Maybe some other Jesus Christ, I wouldn't know. And this has been the story that has been sold to them in all churches in Africa. You see some of them putting the picture of a Caucasian that can never be from that location called Israel. No, it can never be that kind of person, blonde eye, blue eye, and the rest of that. No, he's not a Scandinavian. And these are part of the brainwashing and the problems that they have in that continent, Africa, and some other countries. So they've sold people that story. So here someone says should accept it and in a polite speech dedicate it to all those affected. That is someone else's way of actually responding to that. Here someone says nothing we can do about our past. Now what matters? Now is what matters. Just look at how much hate the UK gives Africa. We are right up there among the top contributors. And of course, there are response to this when it comes to the aid being given back and all of that. I think they take more than the aid that is given back. Yes, someone say that's like burning someone's house down and then making £100 monthly payment to replace it. That is exactly what it is. Yes, someone say I can think of other people who deserve it more than him anyway. He goes on about his motherland. What about England where he was born? That is what someone here says. Yes, someone say 8 on France. Thanks to them and William the Conqueror invading us. All right, that's someone making a mockery of that. Like, oh, guy, what a dick. Get over yourself when it finally tweaked that slavery, blah, blah, blah. So these are people, descendants of the same slave masters, or let's just simply put criminals that invaded all of these continents and looted, and they used the proceeds of their criminal activities. They use that in building up their country, and that is what it is until now. Indirectly, they are kind of engaged in all of these activities. For example, they, aside some other issues, the man in Libya was killed. Gaddafi was killed because he wanted to balance certain things with gold, and they know that that is not going to work. They want to be in control of that paper money that is meaningless, and that is why pounds will always be more than dollars now more than this and that, and that is how they've kept it. Euro more than the rest of the currency, and it's a shame. Anyway, there is no currency in Africa that can compete with euro, pounds, and dollars. Why? Is it that there are more human resources, natural resources in any of these countries? No, not so. But why is this like this? Because they are in charge and in control of certain things, because they've been allowed to, as someone said. Yes, someone say, I see he hasn't alluded to or mentioned the fact that the leader of Uganda was a dictator and raped and pillaged its own people. And I wonder where he would be today if it wasn't for the British that would have all right. So this person is simply saying that if not for Britain, that you would never be what you are, because your leader in Uganda is also doing the same thing. Like I said, there are saboteurs that work hand in hand with these criminals that are dictators, people that practice nepotism and autocracy. They have sympathizers with the puppet masters in the West. Why? I'll tell you. Because money is saved in the banks in the West, and they keep the money for them. Just think of Abacha loot and many other criminal elements in Africa that have taken their money over there. They buy choice, expensive houses, and nothing has been done. Maybe once in a while, when it seems as if the bubble is going to burst, then they come out with like, okay, we are going to repatriate this amount of money, and they still huge and keep for themselves. This is how these people grow their economy. They grow their economy majorly on crime, but they make it look like it is not so. But I wouldn't blame them. If there is no thief, there will not be a fencer. that will have to take the products or whatever item that has been stolen to kind of sell out there. So that is what it is for now. If you're not part of this wonderful channel, simply tap on the subscription button. This will automatically make you a member of this channel, and the red notification icon bell is very important. That simply alerts you when videos such as this are uploaded. Thanks for stopping by.